Hello everybody, hope all of you are well. In my last class, I discussed the different types of preparation of aldehyde and ketone. Today, I'll start from this Rosenman reaction. Okay, here we have to take the acid chloride. So here we have taken one aliphatic acid chloride. We are using hydrogen and the reagent is palladium, barium sulfate and sulfur quinoline acting as a poison. Then we can prepare that RCHO aldehyde and HCl. And if we take the benzoyl chloride and hydrogen, then if we use the same reagent, that palladium, barium sulfate, sulfur and quinoline as catalyst poison, then we will get the benzaldehyde plus HCl. So in this way we can prepare aldehyde, both aliphatic and aromatic aldehyde by this reaction, that is Rosenman reaction. That is very important. Next we will discuss Stephen reduction. Stephen reduction. In Stephen reduction, we also can prepare aldehyde from methyl cyanide, okay, or methyl nitrile. So you can take CH3CN, and here we have to use one very important reagent, that is stannous chloride and concentrated HCl. Okay, so it is a reduction process. SnCl2 and concentrated HCl we are taking. So first it will form that CH3 CH double bond NH. Then in next step there will be hydrolysis, H2 plus and heat. That will produce the corresponding aldehyde and there will be formation of ammonia. So this reaction is called Stephen reduction. Okay. Now we can prepare aldehyde from esters also, and here we have to use one very important reagent, that is called dival H. Dival is diisobutyl aluminum hydride. Okay. So if we take any kind of ester like this, here we have to use DiPALH. That means diisobutyl aluminum hydride, and in second step we have to take water or workup. So then we will get the corresponding aldehyde. From ester we are getting aldehyde. Okay. Now ketones can be prepared from the acid chloride by using diethyl cadmium. So if we take twice CH3COCl, that is acetyl chloride, and we have to use dimethyl cadmium CH3 whole twice CD. Okay, you have to use the solvent as dry ether. Then we can prepare the CH3COCH corresponding ketone, that is acetone. Okay, plus there will be formation of cadmium chloride, side product. Okay. Next we will discuss another method. Another method for preparation of ketone. Nitriles react with Grignard reagent to form an addition compound which on hydrolysis yields a ketone. Okay. So we are taking that CH3CN acetonitrile. Okay. In this acetonitrile we have to give any Grignard reagent. We are taking methyl magnesium bromide, and we have to use dry ether as solvent. Okay. Then from here we get the CH3 CH3, okay, double bond NMG Br. Then we have to hydrolyze by using acid. Then we are giving H2OH plus. Then it will produce acetone, that means ketone, plus there will be formation of ammonia plus magnesium bromohydroxide. Okay. So in this way we can prepare ketones. Okay, this is one of the very useful method. So the preparation of aldehydes and ketone methods are completed. Next we will discuss the physical properties of aldehydes and ketones. First member of the aldehyde is formaldehyde and it is pungent smelling gas. Second member is acetaldehyde. It is a liquid with pungent and suffocating odor. Aldehydes up to C11 are liquids and the higher members are solids. Acetone is the first member of the ketone series and it is also a colorless liquid having some characteristic smell. Ketones up to C11 is colorless liquid and the higher members are solid. Almost all ketones possess a pleasant smell. Next we will discuss the boiling point. Aldehydes and ketones are polar in nature. Thus they have comparatively higher boiling points than the non-polar alkanes, okay, of comparable molecular weights. Okay. If we take example, we can easily understand that we are thinking about this type of ketones or aldehydes. There will be carbonyl group. So definitely this will be delta positive and this will be delta negative, and this will be delta negative, this will be delta positive. So definitely there will be one dipole-dipole interaction. It's called dipole interaction. So this dipole-dipole interaction is present in case of aldehyde ketone. So that is why their boiling point is high. But if you think about the alkanes, so between two alkanes there is only weak van der Waals force of attraction. Van der Waals force of attraction. So that is why their boiling point will be less as the interaction are higher, okay, compared to the alkanes, as these are the more polars, okay. So definitely their boiling point in case of aldehyde and ketone will be higher compared to the alkanes. So while the polar molecules of aldehyde and ketones are held together by more stronger dipole-dipole forces, so aldehydes and ketones have higher boiling point. Okay, hope you can understand. Next, if we take the example of ether, ethers have lower boiling point than aldehydes and ketones. Okay, because they are less polar than aldehydes and ketones. The boiling points of aldehydes and ketones are lower than those of the corresponding alcohols and carboxylic acids. This is because of alcohols and carboxylic acids form intermolecular hydrogen bonds, but it is absent in case of aldehyde or ketone. Suppose we are thinking about alcohol. In case of alcohol, definitely there will be intermolecular hydrogen bonding. And if we think about any carboxylic acid like acetic acid, definitely there will be some hydrogen bonding between the acetic acid molecules. So these are the intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So the boiling point, okay, in this case it will be higher, okay, compared to the aldehydes and ketone. In aldehyde ketone there is no such hydrogen bonding. Ketones boil at slightly higher temperature than its isomeric aldehyde. Why? This is because in case of ketone, two electrons repelling plus I or alkyl groups are attached to the carbonyl carbon. They are resulting the resulting moments or dipole moments of the carbonyl group of the keto will be higher compared to the aldehydes. Okay. Hence ketones are more polar than the isomeric aldehydes. Okay. If we draw the structure, then you can easily understand. So this is the case of ketone. Here two alkyl group is present. So the resulting moment will be added to this carbonyl group, which is less if we compare with an aldehyde. Definitely alkyl group has higher plus I effect compared to the hydrogen. So here one alkyl group is present. Okay, so definitely here dipole moment will be less. Now if we compare the isomeric aldehyde and ketone boiling point, then you can understand. If you take the example of CH3 CH2 CHO, this is propanaldehyde, okay, or propanal. Here boiling point will be 49 degrees centigrade. But if we take the example of acetone of same molecular weight, here boiling point will be around 55 to 56 degrees centigrade. Okay, so definitely from here we can tell that ketones has slightly higher boiling point compared to the aldehydes. Okay. Next we will discuss the chemical properties of aldehydes and ketones. If we draw the structure of carbonyl group, definitely oxygen is more electronegative than carbon, so it will attract the bonding pair electron towards itself. So oxygen becomes partially negative charge and carbon becomes partially positive charge. So I am drawing the structure so that you can understand. This is delta negative and this is delta positive. So this is electron deficient. And this one lone pair is present, so it is electron rich. So here nucleophile can easily attack because it is this carbon is electrophilic in nature. Okay, the carbonyl carbon is partially positive charge, so it is electrophilic, and the aldehydes and ketones undergo nucleophilic addition. Okay, so mechanism if we draw you can understand. So if we take the carbonyl compound, that will be both this carbon and oxygen is sp2 hybridized. So definitely it will be a planar structure. So here this one is delta negative and delta positive, so nucleophile will attack from the top. So we will get a structure, definitely that will be, one will be above the plane and another will be below the plane. And this one is O minus and this one is the nucleophile. So the intermediate is tetrahedral. And finally in the second step there will be addition of H plus, and this second step is the fast and fast step is the slow, that means is the earlier step. So finally from here you will get nucleophile OH. So this is your desired product, addition, nucleophilic addition product. Okay, so here one thing is very important, that this carbon atom is sp2 hybridized is converting into sp3 hybridized tetrahedral. Okay, so in the second step the negatively charged tetrahedral intermediate, okay, picks up one proton, okay, and giving the corresponding product. Generally aldehydes are more reactive than ketones, and aldehydes undergo nucleophilic addition more readily than ketones. There are two factors. One is called steric factor and another is called electronic factor. Next we will discuss the reactivity order, okay, of the aldehydes and ketones. So I am telling about two things, that there are two factors, okay, by which it can be explained why aldehydes are more reactive compared to ketone. There is two factors, one is called steric factor and another is called electronic factor. The steric factor by two alkyl group or aryl group in ketones is greater than the because of the hindrance caused by the alkyl or aryl group and one hydrogen in aldehydes. So the order of reactivity of aldehydes and ketones are, if we write the order that you can understand, first there will be the, so highest reactivity will be in case of the formaldehyde, because here two groups are very small and nucleophile can easily attack. Then will come acetaldehyde. Okay, here one alkyl group and one hydrogen. Next to alkyl group will come that will be CH3, COCH3. Then we will increase the branch, okay, of the alkyl group, and reactivity order will also decrease. CH3 whole twice, CHCO, CH3 whole twice. Next will come CH3 whole thrice, CO, CH3 whole thrice. Okay, so if we increase the alkyl group, so because of steric crowding, the nucleophilic attack or reactivity of this carbonyl group will decrease. Hope you can understand. Next we will discuss the electronic factor. The extent of the nucleophilic attack depends upon the magnitude of the positive charge on the carbonyl carbon. So here this carbonyl carbon, when we are considering that delta negative and this one is delta positive. If the delta positive part, that means magnitude of this delta positive is more, then the attack will be easier. In ketone there will be two alkyl group, definitely there will be the 2 plus I effect. So this plus I effect will try to neutralize the positive charge on carbonyl carbon, but in aldehydes only one alkyl group will neutralize the positive charge. Hydrogen cannot do this the same way if we compare with the alkyl group, because alkyl group has higher plus I effect compared to the hydrogen. Okay, so aldehydes are more reactive than ketones. Now if we consider the aromatic aldehydes and ketones, these are less reactive than their corresponding aliphatic bonds. This is due to the plus R effect over the minus I effect. Okay, actually plus R effect they are dominating over the minus I effect, okay, of the aryl group. So if we draw the resonating structure, then you can easily understand why aromatic aldehydes are less reactive compared to the aliphatic aldehyde. So this one is the aromatic aldehyde, benzaldehyde. If we draw the structure, then you can easily understand. So the carbonyl group, okay, breaks, okay, because of this resonance structure. Next, this will delocalize. So because of this resonance structure, okay, that the plus R effect, the aromatic aldehydes are less reactive, because this carbonyl bond is breaking, okay, and the delta positive charge is neutralized, okay. So if we compare in case of the aliphatic aldehyde, there will be no such resonance, only plus I effect will try to neutralize the delta positive charge on carbon. That is why the aromatic aldehydes are less reactive corresponding to the aliphatic aldehydes. Now in this aromatic part, if we add some electron withdrawing group, definitely it will increase the reactivity of the carbonyl group. Okay, so I am writing one order so that you can easily understand. But if we give some electron donating group, then it will decrease the reactivity order. Suppose if we compare the benzaldehyde and para-nitrobenzaldehyde, definitely which one has higher reactivity? This one, because nitro group, okay, this nitro group is electron withdrawing group, okay, that will increase the reactivity order of this carbonyl group. Next, if we increase one, or if we insert one alkyl group in the para position, definitely the reactivity will be less compared to the benzaldehyde. Okay, so in this way we can easily understand the reactivity order of different aldehydes and ketones. But if we draw one ketone, definitely it will be less. That is COCH. This is called acetophenone. Okay. But if we take benzophenone reactivity will be the lowest in this case, because there are two benzene ring is there. So there will be two resonance. Okay. Here this benzene ring will resonate with this carbonyl, and this benzene ring also take part resonance with this carbonyl group. Okay. That is why benzophenone reactivity will be less. Okay. Next we will discuss the role of acid catalyst in nucleophilic addition reaction. Weak nucleophile like methyl alcohol semicarbazides undergo nucleophilic addition at carbonyl group in presence of acid like HCl and H2SO. What will happen if we add acid to this carbonyl group? Here lone pair is there, so this lone pair will accept this proton and there will be protonated, so oxygen. And in next step there will be shifting of this pi electron out, okay, towards oxygen plus C OH. Okay, so here this structure, if we give it 1, this one, and this one is 2, so this structure, that structure 2 is more favorable for nucleophilic attack. Okay, here nucleophile can easily attack, already positive charge is there, so nucleophile can easily attack. Okay, so hope you can understand that why acid catalyst in some cases is required. Okay, for the addition reaction, nucleophilic addition reaction in case of carbon, when the nucleophile is not so strong like methyl alcohol. So next we will discuss the reaction of aldehydes and ketone. First we will discuss the addition of HCl. Reaction of HCl. HCl is generally prepared in situ, the reaction mixture, by adding sodium cyanide and acid. Okay, we can take NaCN plus H2SO4. Okay, we can in situ generate the HCl, hydrogen cyanide is a gas. Okay, now if this reaction is generally performed under the alkaline condition, what will happen? If we add this to any aldehyde or ketone, there will be nucleophilic addition reaction. We are giving HCl in presence of OH minus. Definitely there will be addition reaction. Okay, so this is called acetaldehyde cyanohydrin. This is cyanohydrin formation. Cyanohydrin formation. If we take acetone, that means ketone, they have the same reaction. HCN and OH minus, definitely there will be the same type of reaction. Okay, here also the formation of cyanohydrin. Next we will discuss the mechanism of this type of reaction. So first what is happening, HCN is reacting with OH minus. So as HCN, the cyanide nucleophile is not free, so it will make the cyanide free because it is an acid and there will be formation of H2. Okay. Now this cyanide will attack the carbonyl group, delta negative and delta positive. So cyanide will attack here. O minus. Okay. Now in second step what will happen? This O minus will abstract one proton from solvent. And there will be formation of the corresponding cyanohydrin. Okay. So in this way, and there will be formation of OH minus. So in this way, we can easily prepare the cyanohydrin. Now this synthesis is very important because from this cyanohydrin we can prepare different types of organic compound that we are showing. We can prepare amino acid, we can prepare diol, even we can prepare lactic acid from this cyanohydrin. Suppose if we take that acetaldehyde, if we give HCl OH minus, then there will be formation of CH3 CH OH is the first step, and second step we are giving H2O plus, sorry H3O plus, and there will be formation of Cl. Okay, or we are giving the H2 plus, we are giving second step, we are giving H2. Next step, if we give the acid, that is hydrolysis, if we do the hydrolysis, that means if we give HCl plus and heat, then there will be cyanide hydrolysis. Cyanide hydrolysis will produce acid, carboxylic acid, that is COH, HCOH. Now what is this compound? This one is nothing but lactic acid. Okay. Now if we take this compound and if we give lithium aluminum hydride, then what will happen? The reduction CH2NH2. Now if we give nitrous acid HNO2, what will happen? There will be formation of diol. This type of compound will form. Now another case we can discuss here, that here if we give ammonia, what will happen? Then there will be formation of CH3 CNH2 HCl. In next step, if we give HCl plus, that means hydrolysis, then we will get the one amino acid. Both amine and acid is present, okay, and this amino acid is called alanine, okay. So in this way we can prepare different types of compound. So that is why that this cyanohydrin formation is so important, okay. So today up to this, okay. Next day we will discuss more reactions, that is the addition of sodium bisulfite Grignard reagent, okay. Okay, thank you.